Hey everybody. Well, I'm in my new kayak, my hard shell kayak, not the inflatable one, and I am testing out my new camera mount. I hope it's not too shaky. It may be, I don't know. Let me adjust it down. It's kind of hard to make one. It's kind of hard to make one like this. And I'm using my old camera because I don't want to use the new camera. I've got the kayak quite loaded down. I'm gonna give you kind of a quick view over here of some of the stuff that I'm going in. This lake's not easily accessible by kayak, and I'm gonna try to go through these weeds over here if I can. So I'm gonna turn the camera around just a minute, see if you can get the view that I'm getting. It's pretty cool. It's almost swamp-like. This is the beauty of the kayak. Instead of the big boat, is that you can go through these areas right here. They're all swampy and muddy and wetland-like. Now you may see that you may hear some traffic in the back because there's a road not far from here. Let's see if we can go through all this grass right here. See, this is my kind of place right here. Once I learn what the kayak can handle, how much weight it can handle. See, this kayak's got a weight limit of 300 pounds, and I weigh 175. So I'm trying to wonder about how much gear I can get in here. Oh, snagged my rod back there. See, this is my kind of place right here. I love this. This is literally my kind of place. All right, so let me turn this around. And then we're going to talk more about the purpose of this video. And the main reason that I started out in a kayak here is because I'm wanting to test out my new camera mount. Because having a kayak opens up a new possibility for new areas. You can hear how squeaky this thing is. All right, let's head over there towards the shade. And we'll talk more about what this video is going to do. This is such a cool place. I love it. This is awesome. I love being here. This is a great way to take a day off. I have to watch my rods and make sure that they don't get hit with anything. Now, okay, enough of talking about camera mounts and kayaks and things, and I'm sure I'll talk more about it in the future, but we're going to find a good place up here to get to. And oh, let me get sidetracked once again. I mentioned in a few videos back that I was going to try to get to that island so I could build a tree house there, kind of a permanent shelter. Well, you know, the thing is, I got about halfway there, and the logs just got ridiculous. They got to the point to where I'm gonna have to go back with a chainsaw, and I'm gonna have to spend some effort to get to that island. And I also thought about just loading up my kayak into the big boat and then going as far up as I could and then trying to reach the island with a kayak. But I don't know if that's a great idea or not. I'm not real sure. But anyway, now getting on to the purpose of the video. Everybody's always said it whenever you're cooking steak, okay? When you're cooking steak, put it on the grill, get the grill hot, put it on the grill, all right? Sear one side, wait a little while, flip it over, and you're done. That's it, okay? And that's what I've always heard. I've always heard that. Nobody's ever said anything different. Well, about 2 years ago, and I've been wanting to do this, okay? About 2 years ago, I saw a video, and it might have been Gordon Ramsay, maybe. Maybe. It was a well-known chef, and I'm thinking it was Gordon Ramsay, and he said what you do is, he said you get a big old bowl of butter melted nearby, and you brush down the steak, throw it on the grill, okay? 30 seconds to a minute, all right? Flip it over, butter it down, flip it over, butter it down, flip it over, butter it down, flip it over, just over and over and over. And he said what you're doing is, naturally, it being over the heat, it's going to cook, but he also said that what you're doing is the butter is forming like a crust, you know, which is that's pretty cool. So that's what I think I'm going to try to do. And I built a special grill that's got a, all right, I don't know where that thing cut off. I don't know where the thing cut off, but I noticed that the camera had locked up. So, anyway, back to where I'm saying, I built a special grill, okay? And what this grill is it's got a, I bought a Lodge sauce pot. It's a cast iron sauce pot. And I've made a place for it to where I can set it in the grill and melt the butter right there on the spot nearby. And so the butter will be right there nearby, and I'll be able to baste onto the grill, and I'll be able to cook that way, which is very cool. And so I don't know if it's going to work or not. I got to try to find a decent place to get on shore here so that I can get up here and not lose everything, have a little bit of room to move around, and where it doesn't quite look so snaky. There's snakes everywhere around here. There's a spot over there, but it sure is steep. Along this riverbed, it's very steep right here. And I'm not going out into the river. Here, I'll turn you around so that you can see the river. The current's way too strong for me to go out into the river. Alright, let me turn you around so that you can take a look at the river. Alright. Now it's pretty still right here in this creek where I'm at. But if you look very carefully, that you can see out there on the river, you can see how the water's flowing. So I'm going to turn around before I get swept away by the river. I don't want to get out into the river. I'll get washed miles downstream. I don't want to kayak down that far. So let's go back up this creek right here. To get out. So far, this has been quite a doozy to film. I don't know how much filming I'm going to do for the kayak in the future, because it's not real easy to move the camera and get the camera far away from you. Yeah, those banks over there is real steep. I got to find a decent place. It's not too bad, but sure is snaky looking. Man, this is a great place to be. Sure is relaxing. I guess I'm going to head over to this way. Alright, that's enough boring you of me paddling around. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to actually find a place. And I'll get with you when I'm pulling the kayak up on the shore. So let's just pull this kayak up on shore. I don't want to do anything down near the water, because people that have been longtime viewers, they know that water, in my opinion, water and cameras don't mix, and it makes me nervous. Alright, so let's look at the back of this kayak right here now. One of the reasons that I chose this kayak was because of this locking compartment. There's a small one in the front and there's a big one in the back. This is a Heritage Angler tent, and most of my friends that got fishing kayaks got the sit-on kayaks, but I wanted one that the door would lock with an O-ring seal that would seal this off. Alright, now this is my camera bag. Okay, I've got an extra camera in here, and I've got some batteries, and I got a microphone, and I think it's not too windy today, so I'm not going to use the microphone. I've got my water bottle here with a few other supplies, all right, and let's set this here. Now this pack here, when I first got this pack, I wasn't real sure of this pack because it was so small, but now it has become evident the beauty of this pack because I can slide it down in there. And it'll be down in there sealed up nice with this, you know, with this O-ring seal here to where it won't get wet in case I flip over. But I got everything that I need in here for a good meal. And then, you know, later on if I want to, you know, I got more room up in here that I can have like rope and a hammock and things like that. So, and then there's another compartment up front. This thing, I don't know what this bag is meant for, but it came with this bag. If anybody knows what this bag is meant for, you know, please tell me. I don't know. I mean, is it for throwing fish in there? Because, I mean, if you remove the bag, you've got an even bigger compartment in the back there. So, all right, I don't need the camera back for now, so we'll close that back up. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to find, so that I'm not dealing with the, I don't want to, also viewers that know me very well, they know that I don't like dealing with the sun and the glare on the camera while I'm filming. So we're going to go up this trail over into the woods there. I don't know, being near the river, it's kind of like a jungle. But what we're going to do is we're going to set up in the shade, and so that we can start our steak cooking. All right. So now that we're up here on shore and I'm in the shade where I can actually see the camera, hopefully it'll get me in a better mood than I normally am, because the sun just drives me insane. So let's ease down here for a minute and let's take a look and see what's in this pack. Okay, let's go through some things here. Let's see, where is it? Where we start? Let's undo this. Now to start with, I think in this middle compartment I have, as usual, I have a piece of PVC plastic. I think it's PVC, I'm not real sure, for me to nail on and put everything on. So let's go ahead and get it out. We'll set it up right here. It's always good to have something like this that you can nail on and set everything on. And I may move it later when I put it on there. Alright, got a little bit of paper towels in here. Alright, for cleaning my hands because I'm going to be cooking steak. Go ahead and get that out. Up here in the top, I've got matches and a lighter and some hand sanitizer for in case I have to touch the steak. Right in here I'm going to have, okay, I got a saw. I'm going to need that for wood processing. Got a little fire starter, some makeup pads soaked in wax. And right in here I have the grill and the food. Now the food is going to be very interesting. I'm going to show you about that. And here's the grill. Okay. Alright, so that pretty much takes up the main compartment right there. Put that back in the kayak. Now this is going to be very interesting right here, the way I have stored this food, and a lot of you may be very interested in doing this. Okay, plate, here's my grill. We'll dig that out here in a little while. And then this is, of course, I got a water bottle right here. I always carry water. And or a filter. All right, let's look over here for a minute. Before we open this up, I'm gonna take my saw and my machete, and I'm gonna run over there and I'm gonna process some wood real quick. Try to find some oak if I can. All right. Alright, I've spared you the torture of watching me saw and split and baton, because I've done it in so many videos in the past. There's really no need to waste footage on it, because I've already wasted a bunch of footage time messing around in the kayak. But I'm dying to see how my camera mount works. I don't know if you can see it from there or not, but this is the camera mount. It's some swivel type device on PVC that I've got made. Alright, so enough messing around now. Let's go ahead and set the grill up right here. Let's move you down here so you can see. Alright, now here's the grill. I'm going to set it up right here. Yeah, I can see. Okay, now let's pull this out and take a look. We'll dump the contents out over here. Alright, so I got 4 legs in this little bag right here, just like I always make in my style. Okay, 4 stainless steel rods, and it's got 4 lugs on it. Alright, now everybody always asks me, why don't you make these threaded connections? Well, if you make it threaded connections, the problem with that is they'll seize up from the heat and you'll never get it apart again. Now that one right there is kind of tight. Alright, so let's see if we can shove this thing in the ground right here. Alright, perfect. Now this is a Lodge sauce pot. Alright, so we're going to set it right here. Thing right there, and then I'm going to put a stick of butter in it. And then I've got a spatula if I need it with some leather. And I got a couple of brushes here for brushing on the butter. And let's see, knife, fork, spoon, a pair of tongs in case I want to use them for flipping. Covered in silicone. Remember, silicone is good for up to I think 500 degrees. And then I've got some Chicago steak seasoning. Alright, so I think first I'm going to get a fire going underneath here, right out here in the open, where there's no chance of catching the underbrush. We're right here at the end of the trail. So I'm going to get a fire going, and then we'll talk about the actual steak and how I have it stored. Alright, so what I'm going to do now, I love the sound of them geese. I'm going to take a little bit of this pad right here. And I'm going to, so as not to mess around with trying to get the fire going, I'm going to expose some of these fibers right here. And I'm going to cram this down into the middle of the fire and then light it up. Alright, I got you on camera here. Alright, what I'm going to do is I'm going to cram this down inside here, like that. Take a match here. There we go. Dang, that match didn't want to get going. Alright, so let's light that up. There we go. Too bad it ain't a one match fire. One of those one match fire challenges. Alright, so now I got on. Alright, let's start putting some more of this wood in here. Start working our way up. I know a lot of people like to kind of see how the fires are built, how they are from start to finish. So once I get this going, I'll start putting some of the bigger pieces on. Everything around here seems to be reasonably dry, which is a good thing. Now this is a brand new, untested grill. I've made grills before, you know, but some work, some don't work. I guess most of the time they do. Oh, people that always ask about these gloves, these are Nomex flight gloves used by military flight crews, and they're flame proof. But the other advantage to them is that they keep away, you know, thorns and mosquitoes and ticks and mostly poison ivy, which is a real big nuisance here in the south. Alright, I'm going to let that go for a while. Pull this off. Kind of preheating that a little bit. Well, there's smoke coming off of it. I'll put that on here in a minute, I think. I don't know if I want to preheat that just yet. Alright, this is just a nice relaxing day for me. And as you can see, I'm sitting right beside my kayak. I got it on one side, that way I can just reach over in and grab whatever I need. And then I'm on my tarp looking, or canvas looking PVC thing. And I've got the fire over there going. And what I'm doing is I'm letting it, I put all that oak on, and then I'm letting all of the small stuff fall down into it and catch fire so that I can get going pretty soon. I think I'm gonna put one more piece right in there. Well, actually, I ought to go ahead and take advantage and just go ahead and throw all those pieces on, since I've got those embers there going. Let's see, let's put this one here. Put this one here. Yeah, because I want everything to drop down. I want those flames to go away, and I just want heat. All right, now, enough of that. Let's take a peek at this bag here that I've been dying to show you. Now, I showed a version of this. I showed a version of this earlier, years ago. And what it is people have always wondered how to bring food. And a lot of times, like say, they'll bring a steak, and the steak will be frozen for the first day. Well, you can actually keep something cool for 2 or 3 days by using this method. All right. Now this is just a normal bag here. All right. This is just a normal bag for keeping things in place. But what I have done is on the inside, I have cut up a wool jacket. Because wool is an insulator. Yes, wool keeps you warm in the winter. Well, it also keeps the cold in the summer. So now what I do is on this is about the cheapest, most lightweight way. And see, this is just kind of flopping around everywhere. That's the reason why I put it in a bag to secure it. But what you want to do is with this right here, you put this in. Okay, that's wool. All right, the wool insulates this. And then you put Mylar in. All right, now I packed this yesterday. And what I did is I put in a Gatorade bottle that was frozen. And see, it's partially melted. And if I just set it out here now, I'm going to have something cold to drink with my steak. All right, and then in here I have butter. Okay, the butter is still cold, solid. All right, so what I'm going to do with that, put this in here. And then I have my steak. I think I'm gonna wrap this back up because I'm fixing to, before long I'm gonna keep that other thing of butter there. I don't know if I'm gonna need it or not. I'm gonna try to just use 1 stick of butter if I can. Oh, this is gonna be good. Let me go ahead and get this plate out here so I know it's handy. All right, I'm gonna set that right there. In a minute, I'm gonna put that on over there. Let's see. Well, let's go ahead and put it on so that it'll be melting. Because I don't know how long it's going to take. Let's just break it in half. Throw that in there. Just melt us up a whole stick of butter. For you health conscious people, tune out now. All right, let's put this over here. See if we can get that to melting. All right, now hopefully by the time I get the steak prepared. All right, now here's the steak. Hopefully by the time I get it prepared. All right, now it's a sirloin steak, okay? And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take this bag. Oh no, my thing fell off. That ain't good. Wait a minute. Let's go over there for a minute. One of the logs fell off. Or pieces of wood. Let me just pick it up, set it back on. There you go. And that is the beauty of fireproof Nomex flight gloves. All right, now back to the steak. What I'm going to do here, I kept the bag that this thing came in, and what I'm going to do is I'm just going to tear this off. Steak. It's a big old thick steak. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take and I'm going to fold this back. This is Trail Cooking 101. Oh no, I lost half of it. All right, so let's put in, or put on, let's put on some sprinkles here. Plenty of generous sprinkles. And then I'm gonna take a paper towel here, because I really don't want to touch this meat if I can. And let's mash it in. We'll kind of mash it in. Big old spots, I hate ants. They're everywhere. We're by the river, that's why. And then take this, and then dump it in the bag. And then let's put some more on here. Put some more sprinkles on here. Now I only do that one time. From here on out, the rest of it will be butter. And then take this and just kind of mash it in. Alright. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this. And what I do with this is for now I'm going to set it over to the side to where all the ants will be attracted to it and not me. So let's just set that over there. And I'll get that trash later when I get ready to leave. Alright, now the butter's starting to melt. Let's take this and move this over here. You can take it and kind of mash it around if you want to. Push it in real good. Alrighty. Alright, I think the fire may be dying down pretty good. Now one thing that I did do is while the fire was getting going, it got a little bit of soot all over that grill. So what I'm going to do real quick, just to get the soot off. Now I think that fire is pretty stable now. Just going to drag that across. And that's pretty good. So now what I'm going to do, you can see that butter starting to melt. So let's stir it up a little bit. Yeah, it's starting to melt. Now this is a fresh piece. Where's this? This is a fresh piece split of wood. So I'm just going to use it just like I would any kind of a clean cutting board at home, and that's what I'm going to lay this on every time. And I can visually see if ants get on it. See down there, it's just sitting there. That's about as clean a piece of wood. That's about as clean a piece of wood that you can get in a place like this. Alright, so there's another piece of wood where I'm going to keep my tongs. Man, this place is covered in ants. Of course, I guess that's what you get for being by the river. That's right. But you can see them when they're all over your tarp or your canvas here. You can see them. All right. So what I'm going to do, the first thing I'm going to do, all right, is I have this peeled back because I don't want it touching my plate that I'm going to eat on. Okay. You just peel this back, and I still haven't touched the meat. You take some of this butter here. You slop some butter on it. Oh yeah. Now, let's just throw it on the fire. There we go. Then put you a little bit of butter up on the top. Now the flames are going to come up from the butter, and this is the part where you start flipping it. I hope I don't burn it. Man, that's hot. I'm searing it right now. Of course, nothing wrong with a little bit of charred. Yeah, the flames are getting a little bit too hot now. Good thing I brought this. Man, that's a hunk of meat. Oh no! There we go. Oh, it's looking good. It's gonna be a really good piece of meat. Now I may wind up having to pull this thing off. I don't know, but See, the butter is supposed to protect it. Constantly, because instead of burning the meat, you're burning the butter. See, this is, I haven't burnt it yet. Hopefully I won't burn it. Hopefully the flames will die down here in a little while. What I'm going to shoot for is having the one stick of butter get burned up. Now I think another thing that I'm going to do is, let's move some of this wood over so that the flames are down a little bit lower. That'll work. Oh, my butter's starting to boil. I don't like that. There we go. Look at that thing right there, it'll fan out. All right, we are at 4:48 minutes. So I'm just going to continue flipping this over and over and over and over until it's done. Still ain't burnt yet. I guess that's what the butter does. Well, that is a thick, juicy steak right there. It's smelling good too. See, I was trying to get that down to coals, but evidently all that butter dripping down there on that fire is making the flames come up, because the wood is actually shiny now from all the butter. See, this side's not even hardly getting burnt. It's amazing. That's a pretty thick steak, so I'm gonna let it cook there for a little while. All right, and that side is starting to look like it should. Because the way it was explained to me is that you want a real crusty, crunchy, crusty outer exterior to it. That's over an inch thick. Discovered something while doing this. This brush ain't gonna be no good once you've done this. And it's the butter that makes it flame up. That, I mean, even though you try to get your fire down to coals, it don't matter. The butter's gonna make it flame up. But it's gonna be a nice buttery crust. Now I have just about used a whole stick of butter, and I think that's going to be it for me. I'm going to let that blacken up just a little bit more, and then I think it's going to be ready to eat. For those of you that get grossed out over relatively rare meat, well, this is over an inch thick, so it may be a little bit rare. Flipping it a couple of times. All right, I'll be ready to take it off in a minute. Done plenty. I'm already eyeballing the part that I want to eat first. This little bitty round part right here is always the best part of the steak. Always. All right, I'm gonna pull my pot off here. Let it start cooling, because I don't think I need it anymore. All right. Oh, I got butter splattered all over my pants. I can't believe that. Let me turn this thing around. I know you're supposed to let a steak rest. Yeah, I got butter splattered all over my pants here. I don't know if you can see it or not. I can't lean the camera down anymore. Right here. I don't know if you can see them. I got that butter on my pants. Like I said, this is a first time deal. I've never done this before. Alright. Let me lean you down here so you can see. Alright. it's gonna be so good. And my ice cube looking thing, since it's been out, I had it near the fire. It's starting to melt a little bit. I'm gonna put it a little bit closer to the fire so that it'll melt a little bit more. So let's give this steak here a try. Nice and juicy. Now that's pretty done. That's the smaller part of the steak, so I'm sure the other part will have a little bit of red. Yeah, that's pretty done. Let's see if this was worth it. Check and see how hot it is. Oh, oh man. Oh man. Oh man. Words can't describe it. This is delicious. Mmm. That buttery crust, it's unlike anything I have ever had in my life. I can't believe I watched that video 2 years ago and haven't done this. Oh man. Mmm. Unbelievable. Okay, I spent 3 minutes chewing and moaning and groaning. This is unreal. Video's done. It's time to eat. I hope you had fun. Butter crust your steak. Oh man. The grill's a success. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you get out and do things. Even if you can't get out and camp for the weekend, get out and cook some. The eating is incredible. This is 5-star restaurant cooking. I'm gonna eat. Had a great time. Heard a good quote the other day. The days are long, but the years are short. So get out and enjoy yourself. And I shall see you in the next one.